Die, damn you! Am I supposed to be impressed? Take that!
Looks like it opens up into a huge room up here.
Let's keep moving.
Let's keep moving. Looks like it opens up to a huge room up ahead.
Ha! All for the 9!
We must Macintosh and the 9 to destroy
And the 9!
Hurry, take your soul! Fight, coward! Macintosh endures! Crusader, arise. Stand and face the light. Breathe again, and receive your reward. You have completed your divine task. You have restored the order. You have defeated the enemy of the Nine. The order shall serve as the sword and the shield of the Nine in the dark times to come. We owe you a debt of thanks. You have succeeded where we could not. You and your knights have held true to your purpose. At long last, our purgatory is at an end. We go to the glory of the Nine to serve in their host in the life beyond this one. You may call upon our spirits when you need us. Simply pray at our tombs, and each of us will grant you a blessing from the Nine. May your sword serve the Nine all the days of your life, Crusader. Farewell.
You redeemed my soul from the evil that had ensnared me, the old bitterness that seemed so important to me in life. The Knights of the Nine stand together once again. The evil took hold of me the day that I slew Sir Caius on the Priory steps. I killed him in cold blood. I could have disarmed him, or wounded him, but a cold pride had taken hold of me, and so I slew him, went to war, and never returned. The evil grew upon me until I became cruel, a tyrannical ruler, a terror upon the land. In death, evil held me even tighter than in life. Thanks to you, that is all behind me. Sir Caius and I will go to Aetherius side by side, as of old. The gods are truly merciful. I took the sword down with me into evil. You have redeemed us both. The gods smile on such deeds, noble knight. May your sword strike true.
Meanwhile, back in Jerusalem, a prophecy about Vision Valley. King Jesus, you're amazing. Thank you for the glorious bounty that we have. You are holy, wonderful, and amazing, and we declare allegiance to you. Amen. A prophecy about Vision Valley. What are you doing here, then, that you have gone up, all you, onto the roofs? You full of noise, tumultuous city, exultant town. Your slain were not slain by the sword, they were not dead in battle. All your leaders fled together. Without the bow, they were captured. All those you who were found were captured together. They ran far away. Therefore I have said, look away from me. I will express bitterness and weeping. Don't try to comfort me over the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the Lord Yahweh armies had a day of tumult, trampling and confusion. In Vision Valley, someone tearing down the wall, and they cry for help to the mountain. Elam carried the quiver with chariotry of men, horsemen, and Quir barred the shield. Your choicest veils became full of chariotry and horsemen. They took their stand at the gate and exposed Judah's covering. You had looked on that day to the armory in the forest house, the breaches in David's city. You had considered them, that they were many. You had collected the water of the lower pool and counted the houses in Jerusalem. You had torn down the houses to strengthen the wall and made a basin between the two walls for the water from the old pool. But you did not look to the one who made it. You did not consider the one who formed it long before. The Lord Yahweh army summoned on that day to weeping and lamentation, shaving the head and putting on sackcloth, but there rejoicing and celebration, slaughtering of cattle and killing of sheep, eating of meat and drinking of wine. Eat and drink, because tomorrow we'll die. Yahweh armies revealed himself in my ears. If this waywardness of yours is expiated before you die, the Lord Yahweh armies has said. The Lord Yahweh armies said this, come, go to this administrator, to Shebna, who is over the house. What are you doing here, and whom do you have here? That you have hewn a tomb for yourself here. One who has hewn his tomb on high, who has chiseled a dwelling for himself in the crag. There Yahweh is going to hurl you far, warrior. He's going to grasp you firmly. He's going to roll you up tightly, rolling you up like a ball, to a country broad on both sides. There you will die. There will be your splendid chariots, a humiliation to your master's house. I will thrust you out from your position. You will be ousted from your office. On that day I will summon my servant Eliakim, son of Hilkiah. I will put your uniform on him and fasten him with your belt, and put your authority in his hand. He will be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and the household of Judah. I will put the key of David's household on his shoulder. He will open, and no one will shut. He will shut, and no one will open. I will fix him as a peg in a reliable place. He'll be an honorable throne for his father's household. All the honor of his father's household will hang on him, offspring and shoots, all the little things, from the bowls to all the jars. On that day, a declaration of Yahweh armies, the peg fixed in a reliable place will depart. It will be hacked off and it will fall. And the load that is on it will be cut down, because Yahweh has spoken. Anything stood out to you? So it looks like so Jerusalem had a water, like pretty much a spring, that when there was still a source of water even when they're under siege. So it looks like they were looking to their power instead of to Yahweh, King Jesus. I have just come off the phone from a conversation with a former student in England who was in tears about failing a degree program. She doesn't claim that her exam performance was brilliant. She sees herself as a poor examee, but she doesn't think her work deserved to fail. The failure comes at the end of 2 or 3 years in which she has always thought that her mentor, the examiner, treated her in a mean way. On her account, he has been known to read her work and then incorporate her ideas in his own work without attributing them. She thinks part of the problem may be that he is prejudiced against her for a Christian faith. She is more sure that he is prejudiced against her because she is a woman. There are other women who have received similar treatment from him. I have only heard her side of the story, but I do know that such things happen and that power corrupts. Such corruption has overcome Shebna, who is something like the White House chief of staff. Isaiah 36:37 will tell us more of him if it's the same Shebna. and of the responsibility he had. This chapter of preoccupation is what he has done with his power. And involves not his relationship with people, but his using his position to glorify himself. Having a splendid tomb will perpetuate his memory, but even now it will draw attention to his importance. That Shebna must be very important. Look at the tomb that awaits him. God takes extraordinarily seriously his pretension to high honor. Perhaps the warning about dying in exile is a metaphor, and the warning about losing his position in the more literal picture of what would happen. So I guess Shebna has a high place. He's not the king, but he's in charge of a lot. He made himself a glorious tomb so people will remember him. And what do you think Yahweh thought of that?
You're too much in the sauce, man.
You're too much in your sauce. The earlier part of the chapter, like the previous chapter, starts in the way that will have puzzled tears and made them think, as they wondered what Vision Valley was. The immediately following lines might not help them. The prophecy addresses people who are celebrating something. They're having parties on the flat roofs of their houses. They have had a narrow escape, something like the relief of a siege. But should they really be partying when many other leaders have been killed? Not heroically in battle, but having turned tail and run. In light of the suffering of the city, tenderly described as the daughter of my people, lamenting would be more appropriate than partying. It's actually the day of the Lord that has come upon his people in Vision Valley. It has involved the breaching of the city walls and a cry to the sanctuary at the city heights. Eventually, the prophecy makes explicit that it's referring to Judah and to David's city. Vision Valley is a term for the slope outside the city. The mountain toward which the cry goes up is Mount Zion, where the temple sits. Troops from Elam Makor will have been an element in the Assyrian army that attacked Jerusalem in 701, when the city almost fell. Isaiah 36:37 again gives a fuller account. As the crisis approached, the city had looked hard at its defenses. The forest house in Jerusalem had cedar columns, making it look a little like a forest. And its water supply, but people hadn't turned to Yahweh, who lay behind the Assyrian invasion. They had missed the point. Jerusalem's miraculous escape was now a moment when Yahweh gave the city another chance to turn to weeping and lamentation. Instead, they're giving themselves to those parties. The proverbial saying, "Eat and drink because tomorrow we will die," occurs in many cultures. Here it's not the people's words, but Isaiah's typically ironic comment. Go on, enjoy yourself, because your refusal to learn from the way Yahweh acts towards you means your troubles are by no means over. His explicit word from Yahweh underscores the point. There's no way their waywardness can be expiated if they won't turn to Yahweh. As usual, the critique, the irony, and the warnings are all designed to drive the people into changing. But by the time the book comes together, the warning has been fulfilled, and they function to urge future generations to learn the lesson from these events. The prophet's ministry to Judah reflects the fact that they're special in Yahweh's sight. The location of this chapter about Jerusalem among the chapters about all the other nations reflect the fact that they behave no better than other people, and experience Yahweh relating to them in the same way as other people. As the other nations hear Yahweh's invitation and promises in these chapters, so Judah hears Yahweh's critique and warning. Wait for the last clincher. Sometimes people of God behave more like the world than the world does. All right. Anything stood out to you in this commentary? I learned a lot. So when we read Vision Valley, I was like, what's Vision Valley? And it seems like it's actually talking about Jerusalem as your cry goes up to Mount Zion. And so the phrase, eat and drink for tomorrow we die, a lot of cultures have that. And again, like all the blessing is always a chance for them to turn towards Yahweh, but they use it as a blessing for partying. Ready? Isaiah chapter 23. What to do with a horse fee. A prophecy about Tyre. Howl, Tarshish ships, because it had been destroyed from there being a house. After they came from the... All right, hey. Sweet Q. We're reading. We're in our last section, so I'm asking for the living room to be a quiet place, okay? Thank you. A prophecy about Tyre. Howl, Tarshish ships, because it has been destroyed from there being a house. After they came from the country of Cyprus, it was revealed to them, be still, inhabitants of the coast, merchants of Sidon. Seafarers filled you, by many waters the seed of Shihor. The harvest of the Nile was its revenue, and it became the marketplace of the nations. Be shamed, Sidon, because the sea has said, the stronghold of the sea, I have not labored, I have not given birth. I have not brought up young men or raised girls. When the news came to Egypt, they were in anguish. When the news came to Egypt, they were in anguish. When the news came about Tyre, pass over to Tarshish. Howl, you inhabitants of the coast. Is this your exultant one, whose antiquity is from ancient days, whose feet carried it to a nation far away? Who planned this for Tyre, the bestower of crowns, whose merchants were leaders, its traders the most honored in the earth? Yahweh armies planned it, to defile all its splendid majesty, to humiliate all the most honored in the earth. Pass through your country like the Nile. Missed Tarshish, there is a harbor no more. Someone stretched out his arm over the sea, shook kingdoms. It was Yahweh gave a command regarding Canaan. It destroyed its fortresses. He said, you will no more exalt, oppressed maiden, Miss Sidon. Get up, cross over to Cyprus. Even there will be no rest for you. There are the country of the Chaldeans. This is the people that exist no longer. Assyria founded it for ships. They set up its watchtowers. They stripped its fortresses. They made it into a ruin. How ships of Tarshish, because their stronghold has been destroyed. On that day, Tyre will be forgotten for 70 years, like the days of one king. At the end of the 70 years, it will be for Tyre like the song about the whore. Take the guitar, go about the city, forgotten whore. Be nice, play, sing many a song, so that you may be remembered. Because at the end of 70 years, Yahweh will tend to Tyre. It will return to its charge and its whoring, with all the world's kingdoms on the earth's surface. But its profit and its charge will be holy to Yahweh. It won't be treasured and won't be stored, because its profit will be for the people who live before Yahweh, for eating until they are full and for fine clothes. All right, anything stood out to you? All right, so there's definitely these other nations who are living for themselves. There's going to be a moment, and it's that motif that the nations will worship Yahweh. That's what I saw. Ooh, Slurpees. That's cool. Education and health have been realms where Christians get involved both to benefit people in other cultures and draw people to Christ. I recently heard about an Indian with the same vision for a software company. He runs a commercial enterprise but runs it as a kingdom business. A big business has to focus on maximum shareholder wealth. Any business needs to be making a profit in order to function. In this man's business, the main purpose is to provide human, technological, and financial resources to grow God's kingdom in India and worldwide. He recognizes the built-in conflict between kingdom interest and business interest in our imperfect world. It's hard for a business to survive without serving unethical market demands. He implies that he just has to live with that fact. Isaiah's prophecy about Tyre recognizes that conflict by comparing Tyre's trading business with the sex trade. Who would have thought God would declare that a prostitute's fee will go to the maintenance of the temple, even as a metaphor? Yet God does so. In a strange way, God honors, while also judging, the trading activity of Tyre. Tyre, south of modern Beirut. Beirut? First time I heard that word. Look it up. Beirut. Whoa. It's a capital N. How do you pronounce?
Beirut.
Beirut. Okay. Beirut. All right. Beirut. Tyre, south of modern Beirut, was one of the premier trading cities of the Middle Eastern and Mediterranean world, superbly located on the Middle Eastern coast. It's not going to work. They disabled it a long time ago.
Oh, they disabled the hose, Bailey. Here, let me see.
All right, Tyre, south of modern Beirut, was one of the premier trading cities of the Middle Eastern Mediterranean world, superbly located on the eastern Mediterranean coast, north of Egypt, west of Syria, south of Turkey, and east of Greece, Rome, and Spain. It had a magnificent natural harbor from which ships could thus ply in 3 directions, and it was engaged in bringing grain from Egypt from the Nile Delta. Shahor is one of the branches of the Nile. It's the stronghold of the sea. The trouble is that any sort of greatness makes a people rival God in its own eyes or in other people's. Thus, Tyre is bound to be put down. The theme reoccurs from Isaiah 2, which also refers to Tarshish ships. Here, that term refers to Tartarus in Spain, with which Tyre had a trading relationship. The vision pictures events from the perspective of the ships from Tarshish, which are appalled to discover as they come from Cyprus, the big island 150 miles from Tyre, that the port they were bound for has been destroyed. The vision imagines the response of other cities on the coast of Lebanon, which Isaiah refers to as Canaan, such as Sidon, a sister city 20 miles north of Tyre. They are evidently affected by the disaster and share the shame. They might as well seek refuge in Cyprus, even in Tarshish itself. Their southern trading partner, Egypt, is likewise appalled. Even the sea joins in the grief, being so familiar with Tyre and its ships. It's like a woman who has lost her children. Who brought about the disaster? It is Yahweh, the one who makes things happen in the world. Yahweh's power isn't confined to Israel. As usual, the prophecy doesn't assume the disaster it announces is bound to happen. It urges Tyre to note the fate of Babylon and learn the lesson. Once again, the prophecy points as a message addressed to Judah, maybe to warn Judah about either its inclination to have too high an estimate of its own importance or about its inclination to resist Assyrian authority. While Tyre did pay a price for its resistance, it was not destroyed, at least until the time of Alexander the Great, though that event will be irrelevant to people in Isaiah's day. Literal fulfillment was evidently not necessary in order for the message to make its point. Isaiah's reference to prostitution suggests an evaluation of the city's focus on trade. By implication, economics is designed to be an activity within the community, within something like a family. I have more grain than I need. You have more olives, so we trade some. Nobody is concerned to make a profit. Instead, trade becomes a means of me increasing my resources, having a bigger share to enjoy for myself. Making money my means of trade is like prostitution. Tyre's destruction would therefore mean the whore unable to continue to apply for her trade. But for Tyre, as for the other nations, there is hope. In its case, the hope of being free to resume its trade, and for Tyre, as for other peoples, its destiny is to acknowledge Yahweh, acknowledge Israel as Yahweh's people, and acknowledge Jerusalem as the place where Yahweh dwells. Its trade will enable it to make substantial subventions of the service of Yahweh for which Israel is especially responsible. It won't simply put its profit into the bank. Even the profits of its unholy trade will become holy. Anything stood out to you? No? All right. Then we got about half an hour, my friend. We could be on. Yeah. Yeah. Brendan, the Crusade build is so strong. The sets, like the set armor, weapons. Here, I'll just look at them. Look at them. Nuts. Yeah, are you? Whose account do you want to log into? Okay. Yeah, it's.
Or should I say a account?
Uh-huh.
Editor. I know everything.
You need his name. You need a code from Brendan. All right.
I take
So my endurance is already maxed out at 100, but with all the benefits I have currently equipped, I have 160 endurance. I said with all the benefits, so I maxed out my endurance through leveling, but with all the benefits, I'm at 160 endurance. Yeah, I have 100 strength, 60 int, 95 willpower, 78 agility, 60 speed, 71 personality, 91 luck. Well, I uninstalled it to make room for other stuff. Because you simply can't play it. It doesn't let you play it until you get the latest expansion. Huh? What's that? Oh yeah. Oh, also, but I found an Umbran, like already found ebony armor. Yeah, no ebony. It was a few levels behind. It's because of my luck, really. Like I found an expert, like one of those, one of those alchemy pieces. I found an expert one. Like I jumped from novice to expert. Well, yeah, but level, but then also like I found a normal barrel. Like luck increases your item find. Well, what's out? Like, if it's like in someone's business, that's set. But if you're looking in a barrel, all barrels are procedural generated, like crates and barrels. Doesn't, unless you have the New World Rise of the Angry Earth, it just shows as you don't have new Rise of the Angry Earth. That's what they tell you have to have. I thought luck does. Well, click it. It'll tell you what is in it. Yeah, it covers. You get the bear set. Well, it does. That just says straight DLC. I don't know. But then again, like, it's like one of those realities where it doesn't.
Well, hey, what if you don't need it for the deluxe edition?
No, you keep saying that, but you need the Rise of the Angry Earth to play it. Sorry, that's what everything says.
What if you have the deluxe edition? What if you don't need?
Rise, it will get deluxe edition will give you Rise of the Angry Earth if it gave you that so that you could play. But since you don't have Rise of the Angry Earth, you can't play it, and it didn't give it to you. And also, we just have like the old version that is like you can still have kind of access to it because of the old version. Well, don't do it on Brendan's account.
All I want to do is play the base game. Why you have to make me buy a whole entire year?
Oh, I don't even do arena, but that makes sense. That's way too much time. It takes so long for the arena. You have to like.
Lord Crusader, how can this be? You're alive. It's a miracle. I heard voices in the Undercroft, and I came to investigate. You vanished in Garlus Malandar. After the battle, we searched further into the ruin and found you next to Umaral's corpse. You had no wounds on your body, but you were dead. I saw it with my own eyes. You did not draw breath. We laid you to rest in the Undercroft. We kept your death a secret. We feared what would happen if our enemies thought you were dead. I can see that. You'll have to excuse me. I need a moment to collect my thoughts. We found Umaral's body next to yours, but it seemed that you had met the same fate as Pelennor Whitestrake. We didn't know. Tell me, Umaral, what happened? Did you succeed in pursuing him into the spirit realm as the prophet said? I never doubted you, Crusader, but I must tell the others that you're alive.
Yeah. Hmm. I also found an elven bow that naturally had soul trap. Had another thing too. And also shock damage on and 15 shock damage on hits. Yeah, I had both of those. I found out both of those. Just randos.
Knights of the Nine, hear me. Today we have witnessed...
I remember now, when I was doing the Crusader quest, there was a random, like, champion skeleton who had it.
Undeniable proof of the strength and the might of the gods we serve. Slain in battle with the dread Umaral, by the grace and mercy of the Nine, the Crusader lives again. How can this be, you ask? What of our foe? What has become of Umaral the Unfeathered? Umaral has been slain by the Crusader. His very spirit cast into the void and destroyed for all eternity. He will never rise again. Let us give thanks to the Nine. By their power, the Crusader has rid the world of Umaral forever. Hail the Lord Crusader!
Behold, the power of the Crusader is arisen!
What is it, Lord Crusader? Lead the... Greeting. The Priory has been restored. Umaral is no more. He and... The Order lives once more. He will trouble us. You have done what Pelennor Whitestrake himself could not. The Knights of the Nine have Farewell.
I am at your... You too. What is it, Lord? You too.
Hail,
Lord Crusader. Is it a good time?
Commander.
We need to talk.
Oh? Very well, but please, be quick. My duties...
We must deal with that situation in Daggerfall. You know, the ghost, dead king or some such.
Oh, I see.
Alright, time to lay the Crusader stuff to rest. Because it is heavy.
Greetings. Bye.
And ebony numbers are crazy though.
Sir
Not
Knight.
yet.
Good day to you.
What are your... I was...
Yes.
I am now. Oh, level 17. Yeah, but that was like, I found that stuff a couple levels back. You know, things are at that hard level, hard space now. Overcumber. Let's not bring the Slurpee though, okay? Slurpees are like an outside thing or a table thing.
Anytime now.
Man, they made Ebony pretty. I have an orc helmet also.
Hello, it is good. Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Well, that's cool. So once you get journey and like in vendoring, you could sell anything to any vendor pretty much. Probably not stolen stuff, but
Another I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. Please return soon. It's all.
oh, this sword's cool.
The best defense, that's me, Morrow Rufus. Light armor, the very best. Well, if you must have heavy armor. The time a Septum Hotel. We'll see. That'll get you something. I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
We'll be right back.
Take care.
But yeah, adding more items does not increase the the effect, the power of it. It's literally your skill and those top things. So I notice I put more restore fee items, like 4 of them, and it still stays the same number. Yeah, having these and then your level. There you go. You also kind of have to do it until you level up, kind of thing. Do it to level up. And then it gets more powerful.
The best tip. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
So like I have 22 burden for 26 gold each. So that there is
You got a great deal there. That's a fine transaction.
crazy
You
how,
drive a
how much
hard
money
bargain.
you start just getting from this.
You got a great deal there. No deal.
It's really about the efficiency of it. And like
fine
there are
transaction.
like those 4 things. There's one of them that does like increase the efficiency of it. Like each one of those like increases a certain attribute of the.
That's a good deal. I can't do that. Make me a better offer. An excellent buy. That's a fair deal.
I think it's Bailey's. Hey Bailey, come pick up your helmet. Bring it in your room. It's on the table.
Enough. Farewell.
What can I do?
You want light armor? Pah! Why wear fluffy flutter when you can wear real armor? But if you must have light armor, talk to Morrow Rufus, idiot.
Gosh.
I saw Irene Metric recently. All right. Thank you, how kind. Let's do business. Only quality
Oh my
goods for
gosh.
sale here.
So
What can I
funny.
interest you in? A pleasure to... Farewell.
Better.
Oh.
If you want to buy a horse, Tovis knows his horses, and I'll stay with him in these beautiful creeks. Bye.
What can I do? Dietzen must be the happiest Mages Guild member in all of Tamriel. I think it was always his dream to join. Have a good day now.
Yeah, you're who? And why do I... Yeah, I don't need you, so go away, huh? I'm asking real nice because my mom brought me up. What are you asking me for? Do I look like Vile's dog or something? Go! I'm listening. Thank you, how kind. What are you asking? I've been hearing disturbing tales about... Take care.
Get out of my way before I have you slapped in iron.
I'm saving up. I've spoke with Dietzen at the Mages. Blessings of Mystara upon ye.
I'm Urani Lervu, Castle Mage. Perhaps you've been warned off me as a scandalous blasphemy. The characterization is completely accurate. I despise the god. You worship the 9 divines, perhaps. Now, worship a Daedra Lord, and you get effects. Bad ones, of course, but clear. The Azura Coven in the Gerals north of Shadenhall. Nice folks. Nothing like the blood-drinking Daedra worshippers everyone raves about. A waste of time, of course, worshipping gods in the... Goodbye.
You know,
Goodbye.
What can I... Take care.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. I ain't talking to you. You ain't from around. Treasure holes near Shaden Hall? Fort Nassau and Fort Passien, though. Bad news. Bye.
All right, Char. We can dip whenever you're ready. All right. Since he's looking at the time, we got to immediately go after you're done with that game, okay?
Oh, hello.
You guys ready to go now? All right. I did. Boop, 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 boop. Get you guys later.